So, Love is Blind has come to an ending, and we need to talk about it. It was so good. And I want to start with Virginia and Devin, you guys. So, I saw the weddings, I saw the reunion. You need to hear this, okay? Because this is such gold for you. Even if you don't watch the show, listen to this because you'll learn, oh my gosh, when to run and say, my. Virginia said no at the altar, right? And she mentioned a few things that were like a massive red flag, bye bye moment. He had $1,000 gift from somebody, right? From his mom's side or someone that his mom works for or something like that. It's like, oh, he had a present, like a wedding present of $1,000. Devin's mom told Virginia. So there's a few things that I really want to specify here that learn from, okay? Virginia finding this out from Devin's mom and not asking Devin, hey, what's up with that check? You haven't mentioned the present. How nice of that person to give us that check. She never did. She just kept quiet and waited for him to say something, and he never did. And so this tells me a few things, okay? First, she didn't trust him because like she's testing him, and something about what was going on with Devin, she didn't trust fully. And this is why I feel like part of that reason is financial security, financial stability. Virginia doesn't need anybody with money. She has her own money. She can, she's independent, and this is where I think that some of us have gone wrong, where we're like, oh, I have my shit together. I'm financially good. I don't need to date someone and get their money or whatever. But that being said, if you date a freaking guy that's not at your level, financially secure, as stable as you, or he's nowhere near it or whatever, it's like you're trying to find a partner where you are aligned, you're both ambitious, you're heading in the same direction, you're a team, you're adding value to each other's lives, and you respect each other and your ambitions. And I just didn't feel that from Devin. I just feel like Devin wasn't at Virginia's level. It's not to say that, oh, Devin's like this awful person, but I just feel like when I was seeing them match, I'm like, there's something that's not aligned financially between the two of them. And as much as someone can say that it doesn't matter, it does. Because at the end of the day, if you're dating a broke ass or you're dating a guy that's not really abundant or not financially really well off, now Virginia's questioning his ass, like, where's the $1,000? Because your broke ass is probably stealing it. It's like, what? And I feel like that would never have even crossed her mind if he was like very successful and had like a career and making a crap load of money or good money or whatever. There's something there that I feel like everyone should pay attention to. That if you are not financially, and like side note, Love is Blind says that, like, oh, everything aside, taking all things that don't matter aside, like, is love really blind? And I feel like, and they mentioned finances, like that shouldn't come into play when it comes to love. And that is false. That is a mistake. Finances are super important in a relationship, and to hear where your money mindset is at, to see if you're ambitious, if you got your shit together, if you're not a freaking loser, like all those things are important. And you got to talk about it in the pods. And if you find out in the pod that, oh yeah, this guy is not as ambitious as you, it's my time. That's it. You want to both be on somewhat same page, right? And so live and learn. Virginia, like, waited until the altar. I just feel like she could have seen that earlier, And then she mentions about politics and how they talked about abortion and women's rights. And she didn't want to say Devin's thoughts on it, but she shared how she is pro, women's rights. They can, have an abortion if they want, pro-choice. And she said Devin wasn't on the same page with her. And Devin's trying to say, oh, like, yes, you can still have love. No, my. Are you kidding me? That's huge. That's a huge deal breaker. You guys, if you are, especially you guys, like we're talking about pro-life, pro-choice, like these are big deals. These are a big issue. There's no way in the world that if I am pro-choice, if Will was like no to the women's rights and you know what, pro-life, I would be like mind by. It speaks volumes, and we're just not aligned. I'm not saying like if you're listening right now and you're pro-life, I'm not saying, oh, you and I, we can never be in a room together. No, not at all. But I'm talking about sharing a life with someone, doing life forever with one person. Those kind of things are a huge deal, right? And so when she shared that, and she also then shares something about sex, like physically wasn't all there, the sex. I don't know exactly what she means by that, but all I know is that it's a bye bye time. Like if sex isn't good, if sex sucks, or if you can't even have sex for some reason, yeah, that's a bye bye time. Like there is, I just feel like, oh, but there still can be love. No, there isn't. I'm like politics, abortion, sex, finances. I'm like, these are all deal breakers. Like all of them. And it's not like, oh, the majority. Like either one of those things, if you're not aligned, it's bye-bye time. And so I feel like, all as you're listening to this, like lean into this mindset of, yes, it is that harsh, quote unquote. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, this is why I found my husband. That is why we're obsessed with each other and in love and happy 17 years later, is because I was not willing to settle and be like, oh, yeah, like the majority of things. No, I'm like, it has to be all the things. Okay, so moving along to Monica and Joey, who I told you from before, I didn't feel any chemistry. And like the friend zone, they were friend zoned endlessly. And not only that, but like this is so important. I feel like best friend vibes is important, but you also need to have the passion, you need to have the chemistry. And they never had it. But what was super gross to me was Joey blaming Monica's sister. Like, oh yeah, I never could really go all the way there because of Monica's sister. And I value family. And I'm just like, bullshit. I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Honestly, I'm over Joey. Like I used to like Joey, but the way that he was trying to blame, and I don't even like Monica's sister. I don't. But still, I want Joey to not blame Monica's fucking sister. He should just be like, yeah, I have no fucking clue. Or maybe I'm not good as a romantic partner. I have no idea. He's too busy playing fucking football, and I spoke volumes. Monica was talking about real shit and deep things with her family and friends. He's there playing, football, and he doesn't give a shit. He just wasn't prioritizing her. It just didn't feel that way. And so, yeah, I'm so happy that Monica realized too, which was so powerful on the reunion. Which, by the way, this is like the work too that I do with my clients, and you should 100% do it for yourself too. It's like, reflect on your experience, right? Now, Monica has the benefit of seeing all this on video. And this is brilliant. She sees it all and she's like, oh shit, moment. She's like, she said, I wanted to go in and shake her, like Monica herself, like, wake up, he's not into you. And we all saw that, but she didn't see it until she saw like, the episodes. And this is what you need to do also in your life. This is what helped me gain clarity on how to show up differently in my relationships and in my life, is to look back and be like, what went wrong? And instead of just blaming everybody, it's like, Monica was owning her shit. Like, why did I not see that? Like, he wasn't into me and I'm still there. And so, like, you've got to own your shit. You got to take responsibility. And at the end of the day, I feel like Monica didn't really realize how worthy she really is. She even said, like, I'm waiting, like, my decision's dependent on Joey. Like, she was always waiting for Joey to choose her. And that's so heartbreaking. Like, I can relate because I used to do that. And, tell me if you have. We're just waiting for someone to pick you and choose you and love you. It is such a game changer when you realize how freaking amazing you are and how worthy you are. And it's no longer the question, does he choose me? It's like, who the fuck are you? Like, do I like you? Because of course I'm lovable. Like you gotta like walk in that energy. Like not such an asshole, right? But like, you have to be confident. And you have to be like, I have so much value. I bring so much to this world, to a relationship. And, who are you? Like, what do you bring to my life? And let's find out. Let's see. But Monica's walking, like, just waiting for Joey. And I'm like, Monica, if you really take a look at Joey, do we really even fucking want him? He's not at all affectionate. Ew. Like, I'm sorry, but sex is important. And so, yeah, I'm not fucking sorry. Like, Joey, he's giving, like, not good in the bedroom. Like, he's giving, like, half-ass lover. Ew. We don't want that. His priority is himself. He'll probably be like playing with a football in his bedroom. I have no idea. We don't like that, Joey. So yeah, Monica, you dodged a fucking bullet. I truly hope Monica realizes how worthy she is. And if not, I hope she reaches out to me because I would love to be your fucking coach because I love Monica. Going on, Sarah and Ben. Oh my gosh, you guys, the writing was on the wall. Or better said, the writing was on the pod or in the pod because he said in the pod, Ben, Black Lives Matter. I never really thought about it. Ooh. Okay, idiot. Like we all knew this, right? And at least he kind of owned it. He was like, oh yeah, it was embarrassing. It was bad. I'm very privileged. I never had to think about it. Sarah thought about shit. Sarah is very smart. Ben lacks curiosity and that emotional intelligence. Sarah, though, saw that, like in the pods. Why did we say yes to Ben? Like, this is where I feel like, what's happening? Like, Sarah, what were you waiting for? I just feel like that one moment was a bye-bye moment. And it kept coming up. And this is where I'm so passionate about this. Is like, the writing's always on the wall. We sweep it under the freaking rug. This one, like, red flag that pops up. And then that same freaking red flag comes up and blows up in our face and is the reason why the entire relationship blew up. And this is exactly what happened to Sarah and Ben. And Sarah saw the writing on the wall, saw the red flags, kind of swept it under the rug, like maybe it'll get better. It didn't. People tell you who the fuck they are. People tell you who they are. We just need to believe them. And Sarah was like, this guy can't be that dense, or this guy can't be that, completely unaware of the world we live in, right? Yes, he is. People tell you, and he is, and he hasn't changed. And I feel like we're not going to build a man workshop now, and we're going to build a man that is curious and gets his shit together and asks questions and cares about equality and people. No, he's not that person. So bye. But Sarah, I feel like I want her to own that a little bit more. I didn't feel that from the reunion. I feel like instead she was complaining about how he didn't go to Nashville with her, empty promises. And I'm like, why are we still entertaining this man child? Like, why are we still like wasting our energy and time? He already showed us he's not the right guy. Why are you still investing your energy into him? Only to be disappointed again, and perhaps to add, more fuel to that narrative of men are fucking idiots, men are assholes, men, whatever it is. And it's like the second you see that it doesn't work, don't waste your time because it's only going to add more evidence to the thought that you probably already have that all men are assholes or look at these idiots or they, whatever all the limiting beliefs that we may have, right? I just wish that Sarah said bye-bye to Ben sooner. But she didn't, and live and learn. But beside that, I'm shocked that she wanted to go anywhere with him, even after all of this. And then it just gave him an opportunity to disappoint her again. Yeah. Ben is so gross to me. I'm just like, and it's so funny because I kind of liked him before, right? I was like, oh, like they're so cute. Like I wasn't 100% sold like I was with Taylor and Daniel. Like they were so precious. But like I still love Sarah. Like Sarah is lovable and awesome. And I'm like rooting for her. But she is way out of Ben's league. Like 100%. And the thing I have to say and finish this up with, I have to say that how Sarah still gave the benefit of the doubt, I still appreciated that. Instead of like, oh, this girl on TikTok trashing him, let me like, believe that. And, kind of like what Dave did. Dave kept believing what everyone was saying and didn't stand up or defend Lauren. I love that Sarah at least did and showed, like, just Sarah as a partner is a great partner. Like I'm rooting for her. She's just an amazing person. You can see all these great qualities in her. She just wasted it on the wrong guy. And I just hope she moves forward and says, what could I have done differently? How can I make sure that I don't do this again? And not be like I was blindsided or any of that kind of energy, but more of a, oh shit, the writing was on the wall. How can I own my shit? How can I make sure that this doesn't happen again to me? Right. So I hope that she's going into her day-to-day life with that clarity. Right. And like talking about Dave and Lauren, let me go into them because Dave, at the end of the day, Dave is, Lauren says, oh, you're not a narcissist. And he's not, right? And I don't think he is, but he is an avoidant. You guys, if you don't know what an avoidant is, like, first of all, I'll drop a link to one of my other episodes where I talk about attachment styles. But like, Dave is an avoidant. When he sees love, he runs away. He's not emotionally available. He's not. He has a lot of healing to do. He has a lot of growth to do. He's not ready for a secure, healthy relationship. And I'm not going to hold my breath either if that day's ever going to come. Like, he has to actually do that work on his own, inner work. And I'm not going to hold my breath. He's still talking about his sister. Like, I'm just like blown away with him. He's like, what I love about Nick Lachey and Vanessa, they actually called out these people in a great way. And I love it. And one of the things that they said, they're like, can we all agree? Nick Lachey was like, can we all agree that a booty call, you can have a booty call one day and the next day meet the love of your life? And I love that. Like, that's so true. Like, how Dave was judging Lauren and being like, oh, you had this hookup and then sleeping with me, or like, trying to find love, trying to find marriage. You're not serious about marriage. He's so full of shit. Like, he really is. He was looking for a reason to run. He did not want to go all in because he doesn't know how to go all in. He's not emotionally available to put his heart out there. He's so scared. And so he was reaching for any excuse, use his sister as an excuse, his friends. And now, 2 weeks ago, he says that he gained clarity on that guy that Lauren had this situationship with, and gained clarity and said, oh, they really weren't in a relationship. This guy was like fabricating everything and he's full of shit, right? That guy. And he just wanted to be like, on Netflix or whatever, be a part of it. And he feels bad for not having Lauren's back. And as he's talking about it, I just feel so grossed out by him. Like, not one part of me, and tell me if you agree with me, not one part of me is feeling, oh my God, Dave, Lauren, give him another chance. I was like, Lauren, get the fuck out of there. Like, he's gross. And I would not ever wish him to be a partner for her. Lauren deserves the best. Lauren's amazing. And this guy is just this avoidant, not capable of loving, and not the partner that anybody would want. And how he was just getting all emotional and sad about it. Like, I feel like there is some growth for him, but it's still not enough for anyone. Like, he's like on a path, he's on a journey. Good for you. Like, I don't hate Dave, but I'm like, he's not ready for a relationship at all. And so, yeah, I'm so happy that Lauren is gone and done with him. That being said, could she have left him sooner? 100%. And I love, last thing I want to say about Dave, okay? He says, my sister's biggest fear was that I was going to be shown in a bad light. And what I love about that is exactly what happened. Like, at the end of the day, when you have your thoughts, like if you have a thought like that, you're going to have these feelings that are going to lead to these certain actions that are going to lead to the exact result that is the thought that you originally had. And so, like, clearly, it's like self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like, oh my God, he's scared I'm gonna be shown. Like, Dave was 100% a total douche. And like it all stemmed from that one initial fucking thought. It was so negative. Like, instead of looking at it so negative, and this is where I feel like if he was more secure and mature, he would have told his sister and his friends to fuck off. He would be like, you know what, I have an amazing opportunity here. I have an amazing woman that I met. I'm so blessed and so fortunate, and you know what the hell you're talking about. But no, he lacks that sense of security in himself. He needs the approval of his sister and his friends, and that's gross. I'm just like, that's not something you ever want in your partner, period. You want someone who's confident in themselves and their decisions, in what they want in their life, and nothing that anyone can say is going to derail them. And he's just giving man child. And I'm over that. Bye. I just hope that Lauren doesn't choose again a man child. Like, that's where sometimes I know, like, I used to pick losers. That was my favorite. Not like I did it on purpose, but I would be like, oh my God, I could help him reach his potential. And that gets really old and exhausting. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, moving on to Taylor and Daniel, who I adore and love, and they're the cutest. And I just want to say basically one thing about them. The way that their family shows up for each other, like their their parents, oh my God, his mom like had cancer, and and they had to go to the hospitals, and like the way that the families and the brothers and the parents all showed up for each other, from Taylor's family to Daniel's family, that is so beautiful and powerful. And I can't tell you enough how truly Will and I, my husband and I, we've been married for 17 years, and that's how it feels. Like, both of our families have been so supportive and have been and love each other, and we've all been intertwined and cheering each other on, and they've been cheering Will and I on and our kids. And this is what you want. You want to build your own family, but you also want to bring your family in to see and celebrate, hey, this is my partner that I'm so excited to do life with. And then let them meet their families and see, oh my God, there's a bond that is created there, so beautiful. And so, like, this is where I feel like it's so limiting for Dave's sister to have like these such negative thoughts and not be, and I bet you anything, she probably lives her life like that. She has a negative thought, not just about Netflix and Love is Blind. She probably is very jaded and has her guard up about 3 million other things, and how you do one thing is how you do all things. And so Dave, he's in it. He doesn't even probably even realize that you're getting advice from the wrong people. This is where you're going to be stuck living a very lonely life and not emotionally connecting if you're taking advice from people that are jaded, that are blocked, that are negative. There's so much to gain when you make space to meet the right partner. And it's not just them in your life, but it's also the people that matter to them. And having that family or their friends come into your world and also meet your family. It's just like the most beautiful thing, you guys. Like, it is fucking magic. It is like, there's so much space for that love and for that magic to happen, but it starts with that positive thought that it fucking exists. Like, this exists. This is waiting for you. This plethora of love. But if you didn't believe it or don't have those positive thoughts and you're just leaning into the negative, you're only going to confirm your own negative thoughts and look for evidence to support your negative thoughts. So this is where you can also learn from this, like, the whole show, honestly, is like, where do you want to land? Like, do you want to like keep being like these negative people with the negative thoughts, finding how all is shit? Or do you want to believe in the magic? Do you want to like open yourself up for love? Because only when you truly believe that it exists, the possibility of this love that exists and is waiting for you, That's when you're able to put your heart out there. That's when you can emotionally connect. That's when you find your person. I really want to hear from you and tell me if this is landing for you. And this is such an important message. It's that you gotta like really breathe it in like daily, even though your experiences may have been shit in your whole dating life or even in your regular life. You can still, and you can choose, okay, what have I done that has led me to this shit? And what can I do differently? And I believe it exists. And this is the power that you can have. You're listening to this fucking podcast, right? And this is what I'm about, is like empowering you and being like, don't, you're not just like the passenger of your life, right? It's like, wake up, you can do something. And Love is Blind shines a light on. Oh my gosh, I love this show, by the way. If you haven't noticed, I love this show. It is so good because it tells you so many things you shouldn't do and should do, right? But one of the biggest things that I love about the show is how intentional the conversations are. And that's what I teach my clients to do, is how, and it's the most uncomfortable thing for them when I'm teaching them. They feel so awkward, like, oh my, this is so weird, oh my god, isn't that wrong, isn't this a mistake? And I'm like, no, everything you've done has led you nowhere. This is why being intentional and fearless is where it's going to guide you to the right partner, right? Okay, last couple things we're going to say, and we can wrap it up. And I was Meg and Mason, they're together as friends. They try to date. Bye bye. What I can't stand about Mason, I just don't like him, you guys. I just can't. I can't with Mason. I don't like that he blames Madison. He's like, you did this, and I should have been saying these things to Meg. And Meg is like, you ruined this for us, Madison. I am like, tell me that you agree with me. Like, this is fucking crazy. Madison doesn't deserve any of that shit. And like, I'm not saying like Madison, I don't know. I just don't, I feel like the point is that Mason should take responsibility for being a fucking idiot. And he was dishonest. And he did say, oh, by the way, Madison, I'm going to commit to you. And then he went off and went with Meg and didn't commit anything. But then, even though he can say that, he's pointing the finger at Madison and saying, oh, you were one way with Alex and another way with me, like two different people. And I'm like, don't you start pointing fingers and doing this and that and blaming Madison. You're an asshole. Like, honestly. And Meg, you're more of an asshole, because Meg, for not supporting women and being in Mason's corner, I'm just like, fuck off. Like, I'm sorry, but like, Madison doesn't deserve any of that shit. Let me know if you're also like Team Madison in this regard, right? I'm not saying, oh my gosh, she's the best. Woo. No, but I'm saying she doesn't deserve all that shit. I don't agree with Mason and Meg. I don't know. I get like this really gross vibe from them too. Like, I'm not a fan. And you know who's even grosser? Is that even a word, grosser? Who's more gross? Alex. I don't like Alex. I don't trust Alex. I think he's full of shit. And I feel like Madison was calling him out and he was not having it. And he's just more lies. I just felt like everything, and tell me if you agree with that. I didn't trust him. I didn't believe him. He's getting called out. And I love that she had receipts. She was showing screenshots of messages that he sent. And I think he's fake. He says one thing on the camera, he says something up behind people's back. He's full of shit. And I love that Madison called him out. Okay, and last person that showed up is AD. I don't know if you remember AD, but she's in one of the seasons, and she's dating Ollie. You guys, that was so freaking cute. And then Ollie proposed. They're so freaking cute. Like, I love Love is Blind. There's so many great success stories. Not everybody works out, but so many did. And I want to hear from you. Which one of these people do you feel like you're, oh my God, that's like me. Like, I'm like that person. Like, are you like fucking Dave? Oh my God, are you an avoidant? Are you like, oh my God, I'm Ben? Like, I'm not really into like, equality. Or I'm really privileged and I don't think about shit. Tell me who, oh my God, I'm Joey, are you Monica? But listen to me. There's no shame in this. The point is, can you own your shit? and be like, oh my God, when I saw this person, it reminded me of me. And this makes me realize I got work to do, right? Let me know. Thank you so much for listening. And remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. Until next time.